computer trying to get there. I have no idea if you heard that sleepy time music in the background or not. If you did, I apologize for that, but I am Jayhawk. This is WWE 2K25, and we are doing our next round of the WWE North WWF Championship Wrestling for June 30th, 1979. We're going to have the North American Championship on the line. Ernie defending against Bob Backlund, the former WWF Champion. Should be a very interesting matchup. The WWF Champion Tito Santana, he just won that title in Philadelphia at the Spectrum. Check it out on the archive on YouTube if you haven't. He'll be teaming with Steve Travis in our final match of the evening. We got the continuation of the Greg Valentine Chief Jay Strombo rivalry. Plenty of things going on this show here tonight. Should be a tremendous amount of fun. 6 matches in all. We're going to try to get through it relatively quickly. Mostly because I want to watch Dynamite tonight. Samoa Joe, Eddie Kingston for the AEW World title. I got to see that live. And I plan on doing it. So let's go ahead and kick things off. Probably hope if I hit start show. Okay, we are getting a Strombo Valentine match in the rivalry, it looks like. Alright. Like there'll be a post-match attack of some sort. I kind of hate having spoiling that, but of course my fault for clicking on that. One fall action to kick things off here on Championship Wrestling. Here we go.
The following is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Seattle, Washington, weighing in at 243 pounds, Greg Valentine!
Greg Valentine, former WWF champion, held the belt for about 9 days, beating Bob Backlund May 26th, losing it to Ted DiBiase on June the 4th. It's been tough going for Zaheem late. He has split a matchup with Strombo over the last week or so. Won one on television, lost one at the Spectrum. 2-3-1 on the series. Valentine out sliding into the ring. Getting ready for action here. Of course, these got this rivalry. The game wanted to end the rivalry at the Spectrum. This thing actually goes into August. It went into August in real life. We're going to try to run it at least that far. See how things go in this story.
And his opponent from Oklahoma, weighing in at 247 pounds, Chief Jay Strombo.
Chief Jay Strombo, 3-2-1 record in the series. Of course, we talked about the split last week between television and the Spectrum. Valentine won the match on television last week with a flying elbow drop. They had a rematch later that night at the Philadelphia Spectrum. No holds barred match with Strombo won. Neither match at the 4-minute mark. It's an incredible rivalry between these two guys so far. Guaranteed to go at least a couple more months. Okay, to address some questions here, I've had a lot of people say, you mentioned the next Philadelphia Spectrum show, you have not mentioned the next Madison Square Garden show. When is that going to be? Well, there was, in real life, a Madison Square Garden show on July 2nd. That card was not televised on the MSG cable network. So we're going to treat that as the same thing. We're not going to broadcast that show live. We will broadcast the next show. There's the bell, we are underway. The next show from the Garden after that, which was July 30th, if I'm not mistaken. I also kind of teased that we might have some additional live events being streamed during the week. That's going to kind of depend Well, in the summer 1979, there were a series of shows at the Steel Pier in Atlantic City that were televised on the Freaking Network on every Thursday night for about 5 or 6 weeks during the summer. I'm toying with the idea of broadcasting those in some shape or form. Don't know if I'm actually going to do it because I don't know if they're really. I don't know what they. I'd have to even see. I'd have to even see if I can give that vibe. Got the one there by Strombo to get the early cover there. We'll have to see how that plays out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. We'll have to see how things go there. But July 3rd will be the next show from Square Garden. Or July 21st will be the next show from the Philadelphia Spectrum. We may do something fun with that as well. Aside from just the regular stream that we're doing, we may do something else fun with that. We'll have to see how things are going. I want to thank you folks if you are watching live on Twitch. Greatly appreciated here at Greg the Hammer Valentine and Chief J Strombo battle out on the arena floor here. Got a 10 count, get back in the ring. They need to be careful of that count. It can't kick. Strombo can pin Valentine back in the ring. Now gonna, and there's a switch there. Strombo working on Valentine's knee. Go for a cover. Should not get him there. Does not want to count a one. It is so hard. It really is very hard to suspend disbelief when you see CJ Strombo doing springboard moonsaults and crap. Here it's stomped there by the Chief, but he continues to work over. Greg the Hammer Valentine here. Well, went for a Superman punch at some description, missed it altogether. This may give Valentine the opening he needs to try to get back into this one. Fisherman, small package driver by Greg Valentine. I give that move to Mike Creator Director. I love that move. And now into a crossface. Got a commission hold locked in here. That's it! And what a big celebration. A massive win tonight. Hard-fought victory. Incredibly fickle matchup. But earned the right to celebrate here tonight. Wait a minute. This is more... Look at this from behind. This is classless. Valentine working over Chief J Strombo on the floor after the win. Oh, steel step. Come on. Alright, so Greg the Hammer Valentine defeats Chief J Strombo by submission. Do a crossface submission in 308 I have on that for the time. Strombo looked to have that match well in hand too, but that's the way things work sometimes. That moves the Hammer to a 3-3-1 record and moves Strombo to a 3-3-1 record overall. So both of them getting at 500 so far. Still got 5 more matches left on this broadcast. Let's get to the next one here. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty, getting ready to take on Dominic DeNucci. Let's get to it.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 246 pounds, Tito Santana.
The Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty, making his way to the ring here. We've seen a little bit of the Duke. Not a ton. He's 0-2 in the series so far. actually had hit 2 matches so far. Actually, pretty competitive matches. Pete Doherty actually wrestled the first ever singles match on the series back on May 12th. He lost by submission to Ted DiBiase in a very solid 5-minute match. Where was Doherty's second match? I cannot remember.
And his opponent from Milan, Italy, weighing in at 245 pounds,
Then Doherty's second loss was Ivan Putski the following week on Championship Wrestling, May 19th. That's the first time we've seen Pete Doherty at all since May 19th. Dominic DeNucci we've seen a bit more often here. Dominic DeNucci is 2-3 in individual competition. And of course, DeNucci just closed the show at the Spectrum last week. He was in a 6-man tag team match. Teamed with Haystack Calhoun and Gorilla Monsoon to defeat the Valiant Brothers in 2 straight falls in the finale. Now back in one-on-one competition here. There's the bell. We are underway. DeNucci with a drop kick right out of the gate. So 2 guys not really in the title picture right now, but that could definitely change as things go along here. DeNucci going for a quick cover here. Got 2. Not even 30 seconds in, get the 2 count already. DeNucci now powering the Duke back into that northeast corner. Referee's going to call for a break. DeNucci comes right back with a Kirika punch and Kirika right and left. Doherty tries to fight back, only gets 1 shot in for DeNucci catching him. DeNucci right into an airplane spin. I love this move so much. More modern wrestlers need to use this move. Stomp there by the Baron. He's waiting for the Duke to get to his feet. Duke waiting for him, able to lock up with him. DeNucci the cat strength advantage, and then there's the drop kick again. DeNucci now looks like he's going for a half Boston Crab, maybe too close to the rope here. And he was. There's the elbow drop. DeNucci waiting for Doherty to get to his feet again. What's going on? What's going to happen? There is the shot, right hand, left hand, picks up the Duke and slams him hard down to the canvas. Now out to the Duke rolls to the floor. DeNucci right out after him. Doesn't want to lose the momentum. Want to take advantage of Duke being hurt. Roll him back into the ring. The Duke rolling out of the way here. Kirika punches by Dominic DeNucci. Now grab Doherty, ram, come face first into that northwest corner. A big BO out of the corner, nicely done. There's the cover. Been all DeNucci so far. Only a count of 1 there, though. Hey, give the Duke some credit. He's fighting. Kirika elbow to the midsection. Looks like he got DeNucci one more time off. Looks like he was going to go for a drop toe hold and went down a little early for it. And DeNucci was ready for it. Duke finally getting some offense here. Slam DeNucci faking that top turnbuckle and comes off with a running forearm. Waiting for Dominic DeNucci to get to his feet. Duke Doherty picks up DeNucci, drops him throat first on that top turnbuckle. And the elbow drop, levels him again. Now working on that left arm of Dominic DeNucci. I thought he was too far away from that, but he hit an axe handle off the second turnbuckle. Could be an upset here. Only a count of 1. The back and forth matchup in the early going here. There's the knee. There's a big side slam. Nicely executed there. A couple of domino get down flash. All right. TD, thank you for the follow. Thank you for let me know you're interested in these streams. We do these a couple of days a week. It's gonna be a short one tonight, less than an hour, but I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, come check us out later on. Okay, they need to watch the count here. Duke with a leg drop to that arm. The count is at 7. Duke, get in the ring. What are you doing? Benucci fighting out of that. Referee slowed the countdown, trying to let them get back in the ring. There's the 8. Benucci, the one nice, wise enough to roll back in the ring. The Duke cost himself this match. Duke Doherty cost himself this match. He had to get one more shot in. Duke felt like he had to get one more shot in. It cost him. Dominic DeNucci wins by countout. 4:35 looks to be the time of the fall here. All Duke had to do was go in the ring after that leg drop to the shoulder. I don't know. All right, but let's go ahead and move on. Dominic DeNucci now 3-3 overall in individual competition. 0-3 for the Duke. We got another matchup here. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. SD Jones is going to be the only man to be in every single episode of the series so far. Nikolai Volkov is not scheduled for the card and had that spot as well. SD Jones, Johnny Rod, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Dum 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 dum.
The foe is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at 239 pounds.
The unpredictable Johnny Rod making his way to the ring here. He has so far has been unable to get on the winning track as well. He's 0-5 in individual competition. Pretty good opportunity here to try to get that first win. Take it on SD Jones, who is 3-6 in individual competition. SD Luke is more than he wins, although he does do well for himself even in defeat. SD Jones make his way in. Stepping over that top rope. Did he step over the top rope, or did I just imagine that? If it's been that kind of day, I might have just imagined that. But he stepped into the ring at any rate. Getting ready to take on the unpredictable Johnny Rod. Of course, we still have Bob Backlund and Ernie Ladd for the North American Championship on this episode here. There's the bell. We are underway. That North American title match is coming up next, as a matter of fact. One fall with a 30-minute time limit for that one, but this one fall 10 minutes. Also going to see in our final match of Jose Estrada and Mikel Scicluna forming a tag team for the first time, taking on another new tag team of Steve Travis and the WWF Champion Tito Santana. That'll be our final match of the evening. And then Bad News Brown against Big Bully Busick in between those two big matches. So a lot of great action still to come here. Johnny Rod with that headlock locked in. You know what? I want to see a time limit draw where it's just chain wrestling for the entire 10 minutes. Why not? Rod puts a little bit of an advantage early on after that sequence, but he gets caught with a jawbreaker there. Now back in the tie-up again. Could be some more chain wrestling coming here. No, Johnny Rod pushes FD Jones back into the ropes. And a clean break. A little surprise there that... Oh, nicely done. Ready for roll-up cover. Stay down. Ah, no count. Nicely done, though. I enjoyed that a lot. Back in that lockup again here. Now we're going to get some more chain wrestling here. You got a arm wringer by FD Jones working on that left wrist. And again, cranking down on it. Tremendous pressure applied to the wrist and the shoulder. Actually, the wrist, shoulder, and the elbow on a move like that. There's the reversal by Johnny Rod. Again, a lot of pressure on that wrist. A lot of this is leveraging. Whoa, there's another reversal. Top wrist block now. By FD Jones. Johnny Rod in trouble. Rod countering out of that into a headlock. Nicely executed. Tremendous wrestling match. I'm going to emphasize wrestling in the first 2 minutes here. There's the drop toe hold. That'll end that sequence. I got a feeling that's going to be the end of your chain wrestling portion of the contest, but more wrestling in 2 minutes than I've seen on some wrestling shows in 2 years. There's that leg being cranked there by FD Jones onto Johnny Rod. There's a leg snap there, nicely executed. FD Jones making his way out on drop the elbow, nicely executed there. And a running kick to the face, maybe to the side of the head. Now cranking down on that. Well, we've seen one count out tonight. Let's not see two. Let's see it back in the ring. He's going to wait Johnny Rod out, it looks like. Counting at 7. Rod can just now get into his feet. And now Jones goes out after him. That's going to break the count. He quickly gets back in the ring here. That was a weird looking sequence, but whatever worked. Rod's got to get trying to stall for time. I mean, you got to realize, for Johnny Rod, I mean, I don't want to say it's strong and good of a win, but when you're 0-5, oh, nice running knee lift. When you're 0-5, draw is pretty much as good of a win. At least stops you from having all goose eggs. FD Jones now rolling to the outside. FD back in and a flying head kick from out of that corner. Rod has taken off that top turnbuckle pad. You see that steel ring exposed in that northwest corner. See if that comes into play at some point. Big backdrop by FD Jones. Goes for the cover. Got a 2 count. A little closer than I thought it was going to be. Not going to lie. Okay, we got done with the chain wrestling portion of this match, and this turned into something very boring very quickly. I'm not even going to lie about that. FD up to the top rope. Rod tried to go after him. I guess he got kicked. 5 minutes have gone by in the match up here. 5 minutes remaining in this 10-minute time limit. Referee is working on getting that turnbuckle pad back on. Abdominal stretch, locked in. He grabs that leg as well for some added pressure. Referee turns around and asks Johnny Rod his crotch if he wants to commit. Rod gets out of it with a hip toss. Now stomp to the head, rolls over SD and drapes the boot across the eye. Now rubbing his face in the mat. Look at that. And the elbow drop. Rod waiting for FD to get to his feet. No, he's catching him with a running knee instead. Go for the cover. Is it going to end the losing streak? No, it's not. Only a count of 1. Big left hand there by Johnny Rod. Picked up FD, back Guplex, takes him over. Going for Boston Crab here. Nicely executed. Johnny Rod can use this as a finish. But he senses that FD is not ready for the pickings yet. Let's go of the hold. Johnny Rod's got himself back in this match. Up top, we can use a giant knee off the top as well, but it looks like he's waiting for FD to get to his feet. I don't know if I like that call or not. Flying axe handle, and I get FD calm in the midsection. That looks weird. And now these are trading. These guys are trading blows in the center of the ring. Big. Oh. Just leveling in here. Look at that. Oh, just look at the blow. 3 minutes remaining in the 10-minute time limit. Pace of the match picked up a little bit after I could have got boring. They must have heard me. Got a little angry. FD pulls Rod to the center of the ring. That may have been taking too much time. Boston Crab and nice ring positioning there by FD Jones. He turned Johnny Rod away from that rope. Rod's going to have to kick out the hold, and he's not going to be able to.
Here is your winner,
Beautifully executed, beautifully positioned by FD Jones there. Win put the Boston Crab in 7:24. One of the longer one-on-one matches we've had in the history of the series. FD Jones now 4-6 in individual competition. Johnny Rod, unfortunately for him, now 0-6 in individual competition. So not doing very well in that regard. We're halfway through here. And we have our featured match of the evening. The North American Champion, Ernie Ladd. Match will be 1 fall 30. Defending his title against Bob Backlund, the former WWF Champion. Backlund earning the spot with a 3-1 record in individual competition on a 3-match winning streak for Backlund. This is going to be a very interesting contest. Let's get to it.
The following contest is scheduled for 1 fall and is for the World Wrestling Northern Heavyweight Championship.
And like I stated a moment ago here, 1 fall 30. Challenger making his way to the ring, the former WWF Champion Bob Backlund. Like I said, a 3-match winning streak, 3-1 overall in individual competition. He lost the title in his first match in the series to Greg Hammer Valentine, but undefeated since then to earn this shot at the North American Championship. And a win here would go a long way, and Backlund getting back into the world title picture as well. Going to take on a man here in Big Cat Ernie Ladd, who is 5-1 in individual competition, 3-0 in championship matches. Got 2 successful defenses of the North American Championship. Can he make it 3? And this match has potential to be so good. Previously, during Backlund's world title reign in the WWF, he had a series of title defense against Ernie Ladd. Can't successful in those. But those are not in 2K land. 2K is an entirely different animal. Going to be very interesting to see How things wind up lining up here. There's that North American Championship belt, and let's go to the ring announcer for an introduction.
Introducing the challenger. From Minnesota, weighing in at 234 pounds, Bob Backlund. And his opponent, from Shreveport, Louisiana, weighing in at 290 pounds, the World Wrestling Northern Heavyweight Champion,
There's Ernie Ladd holding up that championship belt, maybe for the last time. He's already making his third defense of the championship. He held the belt in June 2nd, 28 days. Now as the WWF Champion, North American Champion. Keep Backlund looking at that championship belt. The referee's going to hold it up over his head. We are underway. One fall, 30-minute time limit for the North American Championship. Ernie Ladd. Remember, Ernie Ladd is only with the company because he earned that title shot on June 2nd. But it was still May in game time. He won his contract ran out in May. He beat Ted DiBiase in a non-title match to earn a future North American Championship match. Jimmy Valiant ended up beating DiBiase for that belt at the Philadelphia Spectrum before Ladd could get that shot. So Ladd got the match against Jimmy Valiant instead, defeated Jimmy Valiant about 4 weeks ago. And he's been dominant. Just one loss on Ladd's record, 5-1 in individual competition. And that loss, believe it or not, to SD Jones. There's Backlund fighting, making a comeback here. You get a guy with the technical mastery of Backlund, know how to work on all the joints, how to work on all the individual body parts. Work on the arms here, or that cross-face chicken ring of Backlund. Effective on the arms, effective on the neck. But working on the arms is a very smart strategy for the challenger here. Backlund raking the eye of the big cat Ernie Ladd here. Of course, Backlund is under contract until August into August of '84, so we're going to see a lot of Bob Backlund here in the series. If it turns into a technical wrestling match, it's definitely going to be in Backlund's, Backlund's wheelhouse. Oh, there's a stomp to the shoulder there. Backlund goes for the cover. He hit one. Count of one, all we can get out of that. That Ladd rolls to the outside. Backlund's going to follow him. Ladd's going to come back inside. Backlund's going to follow him. The big cat picks up Backlund. They rock him throat first on that top rope. Going for the cover. One. Only one. Here he stomps now to the chest of Backlund. Backlund comes back with a kick to the face. Nice tackle there by Backlund. That's Shade Ernie Ladd's football background there. Ernie Ladd, of course, formerly the Houston Oilers of the American Football League. Backlund going to work on those arms. That's brilliant. Wear the man down for that chicken ring. Now, a little bit of a vicious streak by Backlund. Choke against the ropes there with the boot. Working on the neck. Again, classic strategy to focus on that chicken wing. Here he goes right. Here he goes left. Flaking Backlund up on that top turnbuckle on the inside. And slamming the big cat down. Backlund with a kick to the midsection. Double underhook. Uncle butterfly suplex. Ladd's foot well underneath that bottom rope. Referee counts anyway. we have a new North American champion, but not without some controversy.
Here is your winner, and new World Wrestling Northern Heavyweight Champion, Bob Backlund.
Just 3 minutes and 24 seconds for Backlund to win the North American Championship here. Ending a 28-day title reign for the Big Cat Ernie Ladd. Now, even though Ladd is no longer under contract, this does not mean that it's the last we're going to see of Ernie Ladd. Ernie Ladd has a very solid win-loss record and could very easily earn some future title opportunity with that win-loss record. Well, that may not be the end for Ernie Ladd, but for right now, Ernie Ladd has been dethroned as the North American champion. Tremendous matchup there. We got 2 matches to go. We got more single competition between a couple of guys we have not seen a whole lot of. Bad News Brown and Big Bully Bukic. That's one fall, 10 minutes. And then we have a big tag team match to close the show. Let's go ahead and get to it.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Harlem, New York, weighing in at 271 pounds, Bad News Brown!
Bad News Brown, at this time known as Bad News Alan Coage, his real name. We've only seen Bad News once. He's 0-1 in individual competition. And that loss against the Philadelphia Spectrum on May 26th. And it was to the man he's about to take on, about his opponent tonight. Big Bully Bukic. Let's go to the introduction of Bad News Brown's opponent.
And his opponent from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 265 pounds, Big the Bully Bukic!
Big Bully Nick Bukic. We've got him for a few more months under contract here. Got Bad News through at least the end of the year. So these two guys would love to get in title competition in some way, shape, or form. Bukic's 2-1 in individual competition. So it's definitely possible for Big Bully to maybe sneak himself into a shot at possibly Bob Backlund's North American Championship. Or even Tito Santana's world title down the line. Bad News going to start off quickly here. If we get this contest going. Great block there. There's a roll up by Bad News. This is underneath the bottom rope. Okay, these guys got a very highly competitive matchup when they wrestled in Philly a couple months ago. Well, last month, May 26th. And not out of their own possibility for Bad News to pull off a victory here. Elbow drop off that second rope. Goes for the cover. 2 count again. Quite have phone started blowing up a little bit there. Want to make sure it wasn't anything important. It wasn't. Keep Bad News here. Oh, forearm the back. Forearm the small back. Forearm the small back again. Again the small the back. Bad News now with the side slam. Planted the big bully down there. Now they're trading blows in the center of the ring. You see this normally later in a match. Bad News is like, come on, hit me, and then blocking the shot. Bad News getting the better of this exchange. Double axe handle. Both men rolling out to the floor. We have seen one count out already tonight. Let's not forget that. And the big bully sending Bad News into that ring post. Heading up top now. And the flying axe handle. Leveled him with that one. What does Big Bully do? Big Bully gets rolls Bad News into the ring here. Big Bully sends Bad News head first that top turnbuckle, and then double axe handle. Now the Big Bully is taking off that turnbuckle pad in that southeast corner. Clothesline to the back. Okay, didn't think he had enough in him there, but seen stranger things happen in this series so far. Big Bully, oh, got Big Bully had, oh, Bad News went for that Inkaguri, that Ghetto Blaster, and missed. Big Bully ducked underneath it. Referee fixing that top turnbuckle pad as Big Bully heads up to the top. A diving elbow. Could that do it? Count of two. Bad News gets that right shoulder up. I thought he was going to get him there. I'm not going to lie to you there. Armor again. Bad News leveling. Gearing a shot. Gearing to left and right. Kick from midsection. Forearm to the back. Big Superman punch. That might do it. 1, 2. Put it on the board for Bad News. 355.
Here is your winner, Bad News Brown.
Big Superman punch in 355 for Bad News. Gets the win. Now 1-1 into the competition. Now knocked the Big Bully down to 2-2. We got one more match to go. Let's go ahead and get to our finale. One fall with a 15-minute time limit. Tito Santana, the new WWF Champion, teaming up with Steve Travis and Barry Mikel, including Estrada. I believe we have separate entrance for all four guys. We're gonna get right into it here. To save some time, Tito and the Baron will start for their respective teams. We know that much. That was announced earlier.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from Toluca, Mexico, weighing in at 234 pounds, the WWE Champion Tito Santana.
Tito Santana, both look good on him. Wish that match against Stevie Yoski would have been a better matchup, but belt looks good on him. Here comes his tag team partner.
And his partner from Charlottesville, Virginia, weighing in at 229 pounds, Steve Travis.
Steve Travis making his way to the ring to team up with the WWF Champion Tito Santana. Look already, Steve Travis is third different tag team partner since the series started. And he's gotten tag team title shot on 2 occasions. That will be one thing that's a little annoying about this era of the WWF. Regular tag teams were few and far between. In this era, and really up until about 1984, so you always knew who was going to win the tag team title because the tag team would form.
And from Mali, weighing in at 265 pounds, Mike S.
Like, I literally believe if I were to try to compile top 10 tag team rankings, like actual tag team rankings, you know, one, it'd be impossible to get 10 teams. Two, even if I did, like 4 of them would have the same guy, would have repeated guys in it, because it's the nature of the business at this era. Baron makes his way to the ring. Bob Smith's favorite wrestler. Bob Smith, the former managing editor of Pro Wrestling Illustrated and their sister magazine back in the day. Also host two very great podcasts, the Outdated Wrestling Hour and the Outdated Entertainment Hour. I'm honestly glad. I'm glad some of the matches went short, but I wanted this to be done in time for Dynamite tonight. And we're going to get that. I would kind of like my title matches to start going a little bit longer than 3 or 4 minutes. It's always amazed me when you're doing a universe mode and you put title matches in these things, and you know, you can have a 12-match card, 10 of the 12 matches will go 8, 10, 12 minutes, and then your 2 title matches are the ones that go 3. Friends over at OCCW, hopefully that's going to get started again relatively soon. There's the bell, we're underway. Santana got a shot in on the Baron, and Baron no-selling it. And gotta call it how you see it here as well. Absolutely possible for, if the Baron or Estrada can pin Tito in this matchup, that they could get a title shot at that world title in some way, shape, or form down the line. I know Haystack Calhoun and Gorilla Monsoon, after each getting falls on the Valiant Brothers last week at the Spectrum, they want a shot at those tag team titles. They're talking about forming a tag team and going for those tag team titles. And I'm told management is considering that having that matchup happen. As it stands right now, the Valiants are not scheduled to defend their titles for a couple more weeks here. Baron going for the cover here on Steve Travis. Hitting Steve Travis is not going to get you a future shot at the world title. Just throwing that out there. Baron picks up Steve Travis' shoulder breaker. Nicely done. And there's the tag to Jose Estrada. 2 new tag teams here, and we've never seen these guys in these combinations before. Very interesting to see how this one pulls off. You would think the favorites would be Santana and Travis, but hard to tell. Estrada's going to dropkick Tito off the apron. Now Estrada's going to go out after Tito on the far side and basically break the count. If I would go Jose Estrada, I would have stayed in the ring, but told the Baron, hey, just keep Travis on the floor. Let's get the count out. Ooh, release German suplex by Jose Estrada. We've talked about it various times on the air here in the past. Okay, Estrada going 7 into his competition, but most of his matches are really good, really competitive. He's just come so close the last couple of singles matches, getting over that hump, getting that first win, has not been able to do it. Tito got the hot tag in. There's a cover here by Santana onto Estrada. A little early for that. Talk a little bit about next week here on television. Maybe, I think my computer's running really slow because I got the stream running in the background and it's annoying. But next week on television, we don't have any full match in that. We don't have any official match that we can announce as of yet. We're going to see all three Valiant Brothers in 6-man tag team competition. That is definitely going to happen. Steve Travis, Greg Valentine. Well, Greg. I haven't put Steve Travis to be in action to both the next chapter and the Greg Valentine Chief J Strumbo rivalry will take place next week. Also, Ted DiBiase, the Iron Sheik, and more in action. That is all coming up next week here on Championship Wrestling. I've got no official match for that show as of yet. And our next major card will be at the Philadelphia Spectrum July 21st. For action, we'll see the tag team titles on the line. We'll see the North American title on the line as well. There's plenty of action to happen from those matchups. And the possibility of action happening from Steel Pier in Atlantic City. We'll see if we can get the rights to broadcast those shows. Those are going to be every Thursday starting July 12th. We'll have to see how we get the broadcast rights. Tito going for the figure 4 leg lock. We've seen him win that matchup with us before. He got the Baron locked in. Estrada's going to make the save. Now, if you're new to the 2K universe, in these tag team matches, if the Elite can't begin to make a save, once he leaves the ring, that is it until he makes the tag. He cannot come back in. Estrada rolls out of the ring. Baron gets a little roll up on Tito. Count of one. Past the 5-minute mark, and it's one fall. 15-minute time limit matchup. The Big Baron sends Tito into the rope on the opposite side. Big backdrop. Tito needs to make a tag. No ifs, ands, or buts. Tito Santana needs to make a tag. Oh, low blow. Referee allowing that low blow to go. Tito now kicking the Baron off. Tito needs to make a tag. Works the Baron into the corner. There's the tag. That's much needed. Holding the arm for Steve Travis to come off the middle rope with that axe handle. So I put for a backbreaker there. Instead, turned into a body slam. Thought he was going to go for the cover, but decides not to, at least for the time being. Travis came bearing down, and that's too early to tag Tito back in, I think. I think that's a mistake. What do I know? I'm just the guy doing commentary. What do I know? Well, I was not expecting that. At least not at that stage, but Tito pinned the Baron.
Here are your winners, Tito Santana and Steve Travis.
Tito Santana and Steve Travis defeating Mikel, Scicluna, and Jose Estrada here. Tito pinning the Baron for the win. I did not expect the match to end there. I wasn't, so I was honestly checking on something else. We get something finalized for next week, and that's not happening because how quickly that one ended. the new team of Tito Santana and Steve Travis with the win over the other new team of Baron, Mikel, Scicluna, and Estrada. Go Travis and Santana 1-0 in tag team competition. ACA team. Baron and Estrada 0-1 ACA team. And that's going to wrap it up for us here. Nice, short, sweet, to the point, under an hour. Kind of like that. If you're watching live on Twitch or tuned at any point live on Twitch today, thank you very much. Keep following me there. Check me out on YouTube, 1980 WWE 2K Universe. These streams generally go up within a couple of hours of the stream ending on that YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, at Ref Jayhawk on Twitch, follow me there. Get the notification, get the Wendy episodes go live and be involved in our live chat. We had some fun on Sunday when the chat was popping a little bit. Also, hit that like, subscribe button, hit that notification bell, find out when these streams show up on your YouTube dial, as they would say. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Ref Jayhawk, Instagram at Jayhawk1539. The podcast, the Indie Wrestling Guide, drops every Thursday. And the episode is going to drop this week here on December 11th. We're interviewing Dominic Guarini about the AIW Cultivate concept. Very informative interview there. Go check that out there. That's available wherever you download your favorite podcast. That'll get for me, guys. Stay safe. Support professional wrestling. And we will see you next time. Have a good one.